Okay, so here it is, November 28th on a Sunday. It's been 2 months since we last gave an update on the Starfire project. So we have got quite a bit of stuff done since then. The biggest thing being the rear end under the car. As you can see, it's in there, it's underneath. So you want to go over there and tell them what we ended up doing here?
We got this from a 1977 Buick Skyhawk. The original had a 229 in it, so the 292, better gear.
Yep.
We put POR all over it. It was in decent shape before, but it looks better now.
Yeah, so the interesting thing, the Buick, Pontiac, Olds, and Chevys H-bodies all had kind of their own gear ratios, is my understanding. So the Buick gear ratio, one of them you could get was a 292. So that's what's in it. It's actually a Buick Skyhawk gear ratio that's in the rear end now. But I'm kind of happy about it because we had a 229 gear ratio, which is a very tall gear. So I think this will be a good thing to have this in it. But as you can see, Cam already told you we painted it, and we got some of these parts. The other big thing, let me back up. The other big thing we did was we got all these bushings in. So I think the last time we were talking about that we were taking them out, but we got all the bushings and we got them all installed for the front and the rear control arms, and then we had them painted. These are actually painted with an industrial, like epoxy type paint for the sway bar, the control arms, the springs, not the backing plates, but I think that's all there. Then obviously just new shocks. All the brake hardware is new. The person we bought them from had rebuilt the brakes right before they decided to sell it. So that actually all that brake hardware is new on it. So we didn't have to do anything there, got lucky.
It came with yellow stuff, like over there.
Yeah, you see the yellow. They had the brake drums were yellow. So we just cleaned those all off and then painted those. So why don't you let the car down and I'll show the control arms. So here's the control arms that you're gonna have to put on the front. So you can see these are all this nice epoxy paint. They came out really nice, shiny. And then we put in all new. All the bushings are new. We got the lower control arms there, the front lower control arms there, and then the spindles are here. So those are all fresh paint too. So those all look really, really nice. And then here's the front control arm, or the sway bar here with fresh paint on it. And then the springs, the front springs ready to go in it. And then the cross member up underneath the engine is a 3-piece unit, and those are all fresh painted. There's 3 pieces here, but I still got to assemble them, but they're here just sitting on the shelf. So we're not ready to put those in yet. What was that, Cam?
The torque arm up there.
Oh yeah, the torque arm. Real quick, we got that. The torque arm and the drive shaft are also, we had those painted with the same stuff, that epoxy. And then we got the new bushing on the torque arm installed, so that's ready to go. The other one was pretty rough shape, collapsed. So that stuff all came out looking really nice. And I got new U-joint to put on there. I just haven't done that yet. So I guess we didn't show the bottom of the car. We painted the bottom of the car back to a certain point, back to right here where the tunnel starts. We've painted the whole car all the way back underneath it. So it has undercoating, and some places do and some places don't. We couldn't get it all off without spending a ton of time. So, and it was kind of a brownish black color. We washed it and cleaned it, but it ended up not looking that good. So we elected to just put semi-gloss POR under the whole thing just to make it look nice in one consistent color. So it came out pretty good. Probably not the most conventional thing to do, but it looks nice. So next thing to do we've got almost everything out of the engine bay. There's a few small clips and things we got to take out of here, but next thing is we're going to get the rest of the stuff out of here, and then we're going to clean this, detail this out. This is all blue paint, factory paint. It just doesn't look like it anymore. It's just a mess. So we're probably going to end up putting the semi-gloss POR on all this. So I'm just make the engine bay black instead of making it the original blue color is what I think we're headed to do, because there's some rust, surface rust a bit here, and then the core under the radiator got pretty nasty. Solid, no holes in it, but it's pretty crusty. So we're gonna probably end up putting black on all this, just because I like how a black engine bay looks, and we'll be able to clean it up and get it looking pretty nice, I think, with that. So that's the next step in this deal. And then we still have to, and then after that we'll go on to the engine, start working on the engine a bit, getting it on the running stand, and rebuild the transmission and start working on the drivetrain a little bit more. But we got to get all this kind of cleaned up, and we got the wire harness is out of the car. Just I got it laying on the floor right now, but we got that all out yesterday. That's the engine bay wire harness. We took it out, and then all the AC stuff and brake stuff, took it all out, all the engine bay stuff. So just all that stuff's going to get basically cleaned up, and most of it reused. I mean, we'll buy a new blower motor, and maybe I don't know if I can even find that wiper motor, but make sure if it works. It's pretty easy to get to in the car. So the stuff that's hard to get to when the engine's in the car, I'm going to replace, and everything else, if it's worked still, I'll probably just clean it up and reuse it. So that's where we're at on the car for right now. And we're going to keep plugging away. Bye.